Happy Tuesday, everyone. I'm super excited to be on today and to have some very, very special guests. We have some of our very good friends today from the Marketing Funnel Academy. These are friends of ours and have been for a while, and we absolutely love them, so we're super excited to have them on here for the first time. We have Steve Hofstetter and Dallin Greenberg from the Marketing Funnel Academy. For the past 8 years, they've been building and helping small businesses build amazing businesses with marketing automation tools, strategies, and proven concepts. So they're really, really excited to have this audience and have this opportunity to join you guys today and to tell you all about all of the new things that they have, and that's how they're helping real estate agents and loan officers implement some of these strategies. So take it away, guys. So glad to have you.
Awesome. Thank you. So yeah, I'm Steve Hofstetter, and then that's Dallin. You may have seen him before, actually. So yeah, we're going to walk you through what we call the ultimate marketing funnel. And when you have a funnel that is completely built out in the back, well, first of all, a funnel, basically when you have leads coming in, instead of just letting them sit and not following up, we have a system that automatically follows up with them all the way down for almost a year and a half straight, up until they bubble up and where you can potentially do business with them, so they don't fall cold and disappear on you. So yeah, this is gonna be more of like a techie, nerdy walkthrough of how the backend system works on a funnel like this. So yeah, I mean, the biggest thing that if anyone takes away any of this, a lot of it might seem crazy. It might just seem like a lot of stuff, but just understand that this is just what everything's being evolved into right now, right? All marketing, if you want to really like take real estate business to the next level, loan officers who are on there that want to just take this to another level, recruiting for buyer leads, anything. There's just unique formulas that you can take people through. And with funnels, the whole buzzword of funnels that's out there right now, right? It's basically advanced campaign sequences where everyone's eyeballs right now are in their email and on their social media feed, right? And so in Facebook, for example, we know that people have tiny attention spans. We know that people are just passing time and they're just scrolling through their Facebook feed. So we need a couple key objectives that happen. We need to grab attention quickly, and we need to take them through an experience that gives them one option at a time. And the nice thing about this is when you see what we do, it's going to look like there's a million things happening at a time, but it's all behind the scenes. It's automation. It's like a robot. It's like a virtual employee. It's always working for you. But on the user side, as far as like the traffic that's coming in, it's very simple. It's one thing at a time in front of you. It's packed with content, and we'll show you exactly how to just run this thing, and just it's pretty cool. It's crazy. So, yep. So I guess first, do you want to well, we'll see. A little tech issue here. I don't know why it's not pulling up. I guess we just keep it like that. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, cool. So basically, I'm Steve Hofstetter, and so I'm the founder of Marketing Funnel Academy, and we build all kinds of crazy stuff for our clients. And so what I'm going to do today is we're going to walk you through the actual back-end stuff that we typically build out and just show you how it all works and kind of pull back the curtains a little bit. Should we get into it? Well, real quick, one of the really important things to understand about this is there's no one single thing that is just like the hidden ticket that works, right? So I kind of handle a lot of the strategy, and when every client that we take on or every project that we work on, basically what we want to do is take it very custom and unique based on what your guys' strengths are, right? Like there's a lot of agents out there that are really involved in the community, and there's ways that we can run funnel sequences to boost that up. If you're a listing agent, if you're a buyer agent, so there's all sorts of different angles that we can do to really customize this, and that's what we want. We want to work so the sequence correlates and is very congruent with your business, and we'll show you how we do that. So, you want to get into it? Yeah, that's cool. Cool. So there's a lot of other softwares out there too that do this kind of stuff. We prefer this one. This gives us a super awesome visual on everything. So let's just go and edit. Basically, so this funnel is there's a few parts to it. The first one is just like what you're on right now, a webinar. So, but we have this funnel built out as completely automated, so you don't have to be on these trainings day in and day out to educate your leads to get them on the phone. So we found that webinars do work the best. It's super engaging, just like you're on right now. The attention is there. They're there till the end, and they consume your content. So what we like to do is automate the entire process to make your life easier, so you don't have to spend so much time, presenting and saying the same thing over and over and over again. So this funnel basically sends people to an automated webinar registration page. So for an example, this could be something where, I think you had a really good one where
if you're training, for example, new maybe it's renters or something, and you're training renters on first-time home buyers, right, or the credits in your state or things like that, right, incentives in your state. Basically anything that has a lot of information attached to it, or if you have a unique angle with how you work with, the loan officer, and just the whole buying process in general. This is a really good example. A lot of people use this to warm people up, and there's a couple key objectives here, right? We're reducing uncertainty with cold traffic as fast as possible so they can actually see who you are, hear that you have value, right? And then the other thing is you're kind of establishing this authority. And so one of the things that's really important and prominent about these types of funnels is it makes you a real person. And everyone knows, every real estate agent knows, at the end of the day, if you can get in front of someone, your closing percentage is way, way, way higher, right? And so the whole idea, the whole concept with this style of funnel is we want very warm, very educated, very qualified leads, right? So that way when you get on the phone with them, we can set up a lunch meeting, we can get them into the office, right? We can sift out all the bull crap really quickly, and you'll see how that's done through all this filtering.
Yep. So basically someone comes in and they find your webinar registration page enticing enough to want to educate themselves before they ever speak to you, to get them kind of understanding exactly what you do and how you help people, and to make them feel like you're the authority, you're this person that they want to connect with, and they trust you, which makes your phone calls and your meetings with them a lot easier. So basically they come in, they register, immediately they get a webinar registration welcome email, which basically reiterates what they signed up for, gives them a special link to go watch the live webinar. So we like to have the webinars due on the half hour, so it looks like the next live presentation, even though it's recorded, is on the next half hour. That way you get people that are in the mode, maybe they're on their lunch break and they're looking around, or they have time in that moment when they first see it to go actually attend and consume your content, and then book a consultation call or a meeting with you guys to sit down and see if they want to do business with you. So, and then the other two options we like to do are two options the following day. So say they're actually at work or doing something they just can't attend right now, they can choose two options the following day. And what they'll get are reminder emails. Obviously, if it's the following day, they're not going to get the 48-hour, but they'll get a 24-hour reminder, a 6-hour reminder, 3-hour, 1-hour, 5-minute, and then they'll also get an SMS message that says, hey, we're starting a webinar in a couple minutes. Make sure you go check your email and join the webinar right now. So all of these reminders go out. It's educational. It gets them excited about learning and consuming your content and figuring out. So if your topic is, how to, I don't know, like 3 things that every new home buyer should know before choosing a real estate agent or before choosing a loan officer, you can educate them on that, and they go and get excited to go attend that, so they can educate themselves and feel empowered to make the right decision.
And that's really important too. Like one of the common mistakes that we see with people trying to do this style, we call it evergreen or auto webinars, is it becomes like a big long pitch, right? And if you've ever attended one of these, what people reciprocate the best with these types of platforms, again, if they're seeing an ad in Facebook that's inviting them to this training, like what Steve just said, the 3 best things that you need to know, or before buying a house, like with a process, it's educational, it's training, and people receive that. Like, that's all. Facebook loves that stuff, by the way. They love pushing those types of ads because it's content. They love to learn stuff, right? And if people can learn things, it makes it so when you do come to a pitch, or you do have that prominent call to action, book a time with you and talk to you, it becomes very, very powerful, and you get a lot higher show-up rate. You get a lot higher. I'll give you an idea. I've been trying to keep a running track and we'll show you why this is so important toward the end of the sequence. But of the last 127 calls I've taken with our own funnels, I think I've had maybe 6 or 7 people not show up for those phone calls. So very, very high, not just show up rate to the webinar, but my calls, they're insanely postured. They're excited to talk to me rather than me cold calling a bunch of people with random leads.
Anybody.
I don't chase anyone. It's incredible.
So they're actually kind of chasing us a little bit. So just because of how prepared they are, they've been touched. Yeah, they've been, if you think about like the whole marketing world, you have to touch somebody at least 7 to 15 times before they ever do business with you. And a touch can be a text message, emails, the webinar, video training stuff, phone call, all these different things, but these all happen through automation to make them feel super comfortable taking to that next level with you and make them want to reach out to you versus some other guy they saw pop up on Facebook or something. Okay, so now they got the reminders, and now they show up, they click the links inside the emails, and they show up for the webinar. So now the platform looks like it's live, but it's not, it's automated, and most of these guys, the leads that you guys are going to be working with, they're not marketers, so to them, it's, the whole point is to get them super engaged, and yeah, it's the same content you'd be doing live, but once if you record it in a live atmosphere and play it back, they don't know the difference, but it keeps them super engaged. They stay typically till the end, a very high consumption rate, which means people that make it to the end are going to be way more likely to actually book a call out or schedule a meeting with you. Okay, so they're on the webinar, and another really cool thing actually before I go further is while they're on the webinar, you can actually ask questions and kind of set, so what I like to do is have our clients at the beginning tell everybody that's on the webinar, set their expectations that there's a Q&A box underneath the presentation window. So if they have questions along the way, you can tell them that I can't answer them on the webinar because obviously it's recorded, but you can answer them when the webinar is over. But you'll get emailed these questions throughout like literally all day with leads coming through that have questions, so you can create a relationship that way as well. So when you get an email, just reply back, immediately. And if you need to schedule a call to answer their question, it could be, hey, this is a little too long to answer in an email. Let's hop on a quick call, and then create it that way and bring them on as a client that way.
The best way to think of this whole thing is think of all the live seminars you've been to, or when you bring a bunch of people into a room, that are buying prospects or whatever, and you're educating them. If you could fill a room of 20 to 50 of the hottest prospects out there, what would you talk to them about? What would you train them about, right? So that's the whole idea of this style, is that live seminar, you record it one time and it's always running behind the scenes, right? So you're always having these people filling these rooms, and that's what Steve's talking about, is it's going to look like it's live, right? And people are still going to be able to comment, and you'll be able to get those and actually interact with people, so you're not living on your computer for every half hour that this webinar is playing, right? It's not like that.
It's just a consistent stream of people going through your funnel and bubbling up as leads throughout, literally throughout the day. And we have it timed so they can't join a webinar only during normal hours of the day. So 7 a.m. till maybe 9 p.m. are people on the webinar. So they doesn't look like you're not at 2 o'clock in the morning doing a live presentation, which doesn't make sense. So all the technology's there. It's pretty cool stuff. So they're on the webinar. They make it through. And then there's a few scenarios that happen through the automation after the webinar is over. So our system knows that how they attended. So if they registered and didn't show up for the webinar, that's one segmentation. If they registered and left early. So on the webinar, you're going to do whatever your educational piece is. So if it's 3 things to understand this or that, that's great. That's the core training content. But then it transitions into a pitch to get them to book a call out with you or to schedule a meeting. And so basically the people that take action or don't take action on the webinar, we can follow up specifically based on their attendance. So when I say left early, that means they didn't make it to the pitch. So maybe your webinar is 45 minutes long, and at the 30-minute mark, you go into the call to action to get them to book a timeout on your calendar. If they don't make it to that 30-minute mark, then we send a different follow-up email knowing that they didn't make it. They didn't see that pitch, so we speak to them differently.
So the emails are relevant based on their action, their viewing activity, which is really massively important. The whole idea is you want your audience to almost have this idea in their head, how did they know I left, or how did they know that I didn't make it to this part? Because the email copy is going to say, oh, you left right before the best part, or hey, we saw that you had to leave. We get it. Life happens, and then we're going to flow that into a way to push them back to the webinar, right?
Yep. And then we also, so I want to back up just a little tiny bit, but we also have, if you guys are familiar with Facebook advertising, there's two types typically. There's going after cold traffic, which are people who don't know you, they have no idea who you are, they see your ad pop up, and hopefully they take action. And then there's traffic that's retargeting. So you have audiences that know who you are already, and then you start showing ads to those audiences that are relevant to what they already know about you to get them to take that next step. So in our system, it's not just emails, it's not just a webinar. We actually have retargeting ads on Facebook that line up with the timing of their emails to push them to go to the webinar, and then to push them to attend the webinar. And then we have follow-up after. So let's say for the example, so the people that are on the webinar, the good leads are going to come through immediately. They're going to love what they see. They're going to take action, and they're going to book a time with you. So those people get pulled out. We don't need to send any more follow-up to them. The next step for them is to get them on the phone, schedule an in-person meeting, or whatever you want to do with them to take the relationship to that next level. But the whole point is for people that aren't taking action, we want to get them to reach out to you eventually. So it may take 2 days, 1 day, 3 weeks, a year, but at least you're staying in front of them. So what we also do is have retargeting going out. So after we send out the emails that, hey, I saw you registered but you didn't show up for the webinar, or hey, I saw you showed up but where'd you go? I get it, life gets busy. And we have a cool message like that. We send them to the replay page, so that way they can still go see and consume the content and have a call to action to go book a time with you. So you have a replay, and then the next step is if they still haven't taken action on the replay page, we push them to your calendar booking page. And this is where we start another retargeting ad campaign, and this goes out. This ad will run alongside these emails that are scheduled out. So this is about a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about a 6 to 7 day sequence of emails that go out immediately after the webinar, 1 email a day. And at that same time, they're going to be seeing your ad on Facebook that tells them, that reiterates what these emails are telling them, which is to go book a timeout with you and why they should do that. So a really cool example of the ad would be you telling a story of past clients' experience with you. If you have a good client that you still speak with, like get them on, do a cool recording for Facebook ads and just share their experience, because you want to be relatable. You want people to trust you. If other people are doing business with you, you want them to feel that, and then they will more than likely take action to at least speak with you, and then you can take it to the next level. But it's a lot of little moving pieces, which is pretty cool. So yeah, so all this timing, everything's all set up through automation. And you'll see this is where we dump the contact record. We send that record data over to Facebook at this point right here through our system. And then the ads will immediately start showing alongside here. Once the emails are over, we stop. So we take that same data, go to Facebook, tell them, okay, stop sending this ad and stop showing this ad in front of these people, because now this sequence is over, the hard post-webinar push to consultation call. And we move them to that next step.
So hopefully that was pretty quick, but hopefully people understand the power of that. So I'll give you a great example. The other day I got on a phone call from our own sequences, our own funnels of people coming through our funnels from Facebook traffic. And it was a lady, it was from a retargeting ad that we had. It was a lady from 18 months ago, okay, that bubbled back up because of our Facebook retargeting. And the rules on our Facebook retargeting, for example, is people that have opened more than 50% of our emails over the last 2 years, and people that have watched more than 50% of our last webinar, right? We can create these rules and communicate that with Facebook. And for those of you that run big business, and especially everyone that, hustling deals, there's nothing greater as a business. It's almost like free business of getting someone that you've already put time and invested in, right, that didn't take an action, but they bubbled up down the road all through 100% automation. So think in your head, if you had one of those listings per month that bubbled back up down the road, that's massive. That's a huge shift in business, right? And that's what we want, right? We want to diversify this platform. What really happens is if you understand Facebook advertising, even if you don't, understanding that as people can always bubble up and take an action and continuously flow through the sequence behind the scenes, there's nothing more powerful than automation, right? There's nothing more powerful than people taking actions on their own time, but it's almost like you're always selling in the background, right? So
yeah, it's exactly like that. So now what we like to do with these guys, this is just another example, like all these, this whole funnel, like this thing is all built out custom for everybody. Everybody's a little different. So I'm showing you an example of a pretty standard flow that works really well to get people engaged and to get the appointments booked and to get them on your calendar. So what we also like to do is once we send them to your calendar booking page, these are just cool little tricks. This is stuff that kind of like the high level stuff that most people aren't doing right now, just because either technology, they don't know how, or, but it works. And you've probably had it done to you from other companies, but this is what it looks like behind the scenes. So we have a trigger where we have special code on the calendar booking page where somebody will go, they'll sit there for 2 minutes on that page, like we know how long they've been there, and if they don't book a timeout and schedule on your calendar, we send one little quick calendar reminder email out, and basically, hey, do you have any, I saw you're on our calendar page, but you didn't book out yet. Do you have any trouble? Can we help you in any way? So we send that 10 minutes after they've sat there for 2 minutes and did not book a time, which is pretty cool. So we know that contact, that actual person sitting on a specific URL, we can connect that back to our autoresponder and kick off an email based on that action, which is very powerful. So then all this does when you have numbers coming through here and people coming through, what's going to happen is it's going to start pulling percentages of those people out and giving you more opportunity to bring on clients that you never would have had in the first place because they are connecting with you.
So if you're wondering why your Facebook lead gen ads aren't working and you're getting angry at Facebook, probably because you don't have a good follow-up sequence, right? So all of this is all timed. It's all robotic, right? It's all autopilot.
You're always going to pull, like no matter how you run ads or wherever you get your leads, your referrals, everybody, you're always going to be able to get the easy ones no matter what. Those ones are always going to be there. They're always going to be the laydowns and the people that are like, okay, I want to work with you, let's do it. Those people are always going to be there, but what happens is you have all these other people that you spoke with or put effort in or paid for traffic. You need to make sure that just because they're not ready to do business with you right then and there, doesn't mean they're not ready to do business with you down the road, but you have to stay in front of them, or the next guy that stays in front of them, they're going to go, the first person they're going to think of is going to be that other guy and not you. So that's why, that's the power of the follow-up stuff. So
and that's actually really important, because if you understand Facebook ads, one of the I guess you can say tweaks in Facebook's algorithm, what they're doing when you create your ads, one of the first things Facebook algorithm is doing is they're targeting what they call hyperactive traffic. They're targeting people who are prone to clicking on things, buying things online, opting in for things, right? And so as the algorithm on Facebook, you put the ball in Facebook's court once you launch these ads, understanding how that works is going to make complete sense. So once you attach good platform, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Facebook, whether it's whatever social media platform or your emails, whatever, you have a huge email list. Once you attach that with a good sequence like this, a good funnel campaign sequence, follow-up sequence, whatever, when the two marry each other and they speak simultaneously, and it's insanely powerful, like crazy powerful.
And you can see everything, you know how it's working. You literally see stuff happening, and which creates more business and more revenue for you. Okay, so now the webinar is over, all right, and at any point, so if they're in this sequence, getting emails and, waiting for the next one to go out, at any point, if one of these emails really resonates with them, and they're like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and book a timeout on this guy or girl's calendar and see what they're all about and see how they can help me. At any point, they get pulled out of those emails. Those emails stop sending to them, because that way we don't need to send them more push back to your calendar once they book a time. So this little, just for visual purposes, these little triggers right here, that this is the goal, appointment booked, it pulls them out of any of these follow-up sequences. Okay, so now what do you do with these people? So that's about when they come into your funnel, they go through the webinar, that's about a 1.5 week process. Now what do you do with these people afterwards? So you can either just let them sit in your database and not do anything, or send a random one-off email every month, which is what most people do, or even less than that, or do nothing. Or you can continue building the funnel out and creating a super long-term nurture sequence. So we found there's a lot of ways you can get in front of people and get them engaged again, even though maybe the webinar stuff didn't really trigger with them, or they just weren't ready. They loved it, but they just weren't ready. So what we like to do is do a little warm-up sequence. So we'll send 2 emails out, general like tips, tricks, maybe stories, case studies, or whatever. No pitch, no nothing, just educational to kind of separate the next step of what you want them to go do from the webinar. So once we'll do that, so that takes up about another week or so, so 3 days in between each one. And then I always like to, you always do have a soft call to action, so you're not saying, hey, go book on my calendar. Maybe do like a PS line that says, you know, PS, I'd love to have a chat with you to see if I can help you buy your first house or to help you with your next home purchase. And then that's a link to your calendar. So you always have some open door there for them to go on your calendar to speak with. But what we found that works really well after the webinar is to hook them up and give them, basically create like mini trainings. These are like 5-10 minute long videos on a specific topic. So maybe it's, you know, how to prepare yourself to buy a home in the next 2 weeks or whatever. That's video number 1. Video number 2 is, okay, what to look for in the home of, like, how to find the home of your dreams, like where to look, you know, who to reach out to, or you know, what to look for. And then maybe the third video is, you know, how to make the home buying process as smooth as possible. And you just give them these tips, these tricks, just to build rapport, to make them feel comfortable working with you. And at this point, they still haven't booked a timeout with you to talk. So what we're doing is just creating more value, establishing you more as the authority in their marketplace, and getting them to trust you enough to, like, okay, let's talk. So what we do is we have a 3 video training series. So there's 3 pages on your site, and then each email. So we have the 2 warm-up, and then we send the first one to go, hey guys, you know, this email, all this email does, it just basically says, you know, hey guys, I just finished up my, you know, a 3 video training series I think you're going to love. I talk about this, this, and this. Here's video 1, and then tomorrow we're going to talk about this and this. I'll send you that link tomorrow, and here's a link to go watch video 1. And then video 1 is a page where they sit there, they have the video. Underneath it, after about a minute or so, once they're engaged, the button pops up and it goes back to your calendar. So everything routes back to your calendar to get them on the phone. And then again, we also have our retargeting ads going at the same time, pushing them back to the video pages to bubble them up for a phone call. Yeah.
A lot of stuff. But the biggest thing to take away here, the kind of breaking this whole thing down, scooting back, think of this whole thing as like 3 distinct pillars, right? Pillar number 1 is we need an autoresponder. We need a way to email them relevant emails based on their actions or their non-actions, based on their viewing activity or their non-viewing activity, right? So that's pillar number 1, and that needs to correlate, that needs to communicate with a webinar software, right? So the second pillar is going to be a webinar software, something that you know, after you record your webinar, after you're going to do this, and then we build out all the sequence, or if you build out the sequence, you want to try to do it yourself, that needs to communicate, that software needs to communicate with your autoresponder software, okay? So a lot of people out there, a lot of things you guys probably click on, a lot of things that people probably pitch to you like crazy is their software does everything and anything. You know, the reality is there's no one software that can do all of this stuff. You have to diversify and have a couple different softwares working. So pillar number 3 is obviously your traffic source. So let's use Facebook, for example, because that's usually the most powerful. In Facebook, if you can now have Facebook communicating with the autoresponder, communicating with the webinar data, right? Now all 3 are communicating with each other, building this incredible foundation. And then you throw in the mix, obviously, the software to have people book on your calendar, not you getting these leads and calling people, hey, you filled out a form on my website. Hey, you filled out, you know, you said on Facebook you were interested, and then 99% of those calls are, I did, I filled something out, huh? Like,
yeah.
And I know everyone is probably nodding their head because you've all probably bought these ads or are buying these ads right now, and you have to fulfill that space in your office, whether it's yourself, that's a crap ton of time taken away from you, or someone that you have to hire to take these calls, right? Like Steve and I can show you some tricks in Facebook to generate you thousands of random leads, but I promise you they're going to be crappy leads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's tricks and there's ways to do it, and it's easy money for Facebook ad agencies. And so really the whole idea is, now this is just one example, right? This is a webinar. This is if you have a really good training or something you want to bring people, but the whole idea is it engages like crazy. You have a really high show up rate because of the automation. I'll give you kind of like a little inside idea. Majority of people we work with have a 50% or higher show up rate just to the webinar from cold traffic. If you've ever been to a webinar or understand webinars, that's crazy. That's stupid good. Our own campaigns this last quarter was sitting over 72% show up rate. So again, It all trickles down. We have all these minute conversions, click-through rate from the ad to registration, registration to actually showing up to the webinar. Then we have these small conversions. How many people stayed for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes? How many people stayed till the pitch, which is one of the biggest ones we've seen, right? All these little conversions that we're looking for. And what the reason I'm talking about it is because when it comes down to actually fixing or tweaking, finding these holes in your funnel, so let's say you're having a ton of people showing up to the webinar, but you see a high fallout rate after, 5 minutes. Your webinar sucks, or at least the intro sucks, and we can fix that really quickly. Or let's say that you're just not getting people register. Your registration page sucks. So again, a lot of it until you test it and run traffic to it. But the nice thing is we've built thousands of these, and we have a pretty good idea of the anticipated fallout rate, so we know how to prevent a lot of that stuff. So
for sure, we see literally we can pinpoint before we ever run data and traffic through it. We can see where the holes are going to come, where they're going to happen. So we'll plug those up ahead of time before we ever run any paid traffic.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do paid traffic on this too. You can always push in referrals, post it on Facebook, have your friends post it up as a free educational training. So it's not like a hard pitch.
Yeah. So this everything that's kicked off, like this whole entire sequence, the spider web you're looking at, it literally is kicked off by a single URL. So let's say a lot of you post in community groups. I know a lot of you post like a house for sale or something in a community group. You could easily post in that community group that probably has 15, 30,000 members. Hey, we've had a lot of people asking us, about the best areas to buy houses. We put together a free training for you or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it can be really soft. And all of a sudden you just blasted 30,000 people for free in that community group on Facebook. But the best part about it is anyone who clicks that link that gets sent to the registration page, hopefully a lot of you have had training and know what a Facebook pixel is. If you don't, Google Facebook pixel. It'll change your world forever, right? It's like the new age email list. But what it'll do is it'll set up all the tracking. Now you can retarget in Facebook. Now you can gain and build that list up at the same time as building your email list, all from one link that someone clicks on, no matter how you post it, run ads to, etc. Yep. It's incredible.
Oh yeah, yep, definitely, super powerful. So I'm going to keep going on this funnel. So basically what we have here are some really other cool things that's more advanced level stuff that most people aren't doing. So basically what you want to do is you want to get even more in front of the people that are actually engaging with your content, that are watching your videos, that are going to the webinar, that are clicking on your links. Those are the really hot ones in the automated funnel that you want to push harder to bubble up to get them to book a call, because they're really, really close at that point. So you see that extra little push to get them to book a call out, and they could be the perfect lead, ready to go. We just got to get them to take that first step to connect with you on a one-to-one level to get them on the phone or to come in and set an appointment with you. So we have these cool other 3 little triggers here based on each video. So if they watch a certain percentage of any of your training videos, we can kick off another email that pushes them back to a consultation page, just as a little follow-up. So 22 minutes, I like to do like 20 while they're hot, while they're in that mode. So if it's a 10-minute video, if they watch 70% of the first video, they're going to get an email. The next day, if they watch 70% of the second email, they're going to get another little email. These aren't hard pushes. They're soft, saying, hey, I noticed you checked out the video. I hope if you have any questions, please reply back and let me know. Or I'd love to talk to you about helping you get into your next house. Here's a link to my calendar. So all those little pushes all accumulate into better conversions, more qualified people on the phone. Okay, so now again, at any point, if they take action on 3 video series, they're going to get pulled out and they're going to go into your follow-up for the phone consultation call. You're going to do your thing, get them on the phone and do your thing. The other thing, once they book a call out, we like to also integrate a short application questionnaire to even better qualify them. And a lot of times, people can enter whatever they want, but most of the time when they've gone through all this stuff, they know exactly who you are, they already trust you, they feel like they know you, and they took the time to book a call out, most of the time they're going to fill in some pretty solid, truthful content answers on these questionnaires. But again, the other point of this is what it does, besides give you a little bit of data before you have your call with them, it also engages them that much deeper into the process. So they invested a lot of time, a lot of effort. They've taken time to answer your questions before the call happens. So these people are super engaged. What that means is you're going to have a very, very, very high show-up rate for that phone call because of all this stuff that's been happening they've answered questions, they've consumed all your videos, webinar trainings, they've clicked through tons of emails. The show-up rate for the phone calls are very high, and they're waiting for you to call them on the time that they chose on your calendar, which is really, really cool.
I call it the gauntlet, right? Like they've already been through the gauntlet, and this is how you get people to bubble up. So this might turn a lot of people off, but this sequence is not intended to get you thousands and thousands of leads. It's intended to sift all the crap and get you the ones who are like ready. They want to know what the next.
Well, you're going to close a deal with, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So like this, what I like to teach people, like especially people that we work with, this right here, this application questionnaire, and when people come to this sets as the perfect framework for your phone call, the way you structure these questions on this questionnaire, because your calls should not be sales calls. They've already been sold. They just went through the funnel. Like they're sold. You know what I mean? Like these calls are qualification calls. If you go on the phone and you start asking the right questions and use this almost like a blueprint for that, it's crazy the shift in your conversions, right? Where you can keep that authority, keep the ball in your court, you know, and ask specific questions, go more in detail on the questions here. And the reason I bring that up is because, so for example, it might look like they just went through a ton of stuff. The reality is, to them, it was very fluid. It was very relevant because they didn't see all of these emails. They didn't see all of this stuff. It was according to what they did or didn't do. So from the time that they saw that ad, assuming it's a perfect flow of someone, maybe they saw the ad, registered for the webinar, came into the webinar, maybe they had one fallout and had to get pushed back, right? Let's just assume it's someone like that because that's a lot of people. Maybe they fall out, right, because they were on lunch break or had a client call or baby was crying or whatever. We don't know why they fell out, but they came back to the webinar, they booked a call with you. That's already like 5 or 6 touches, right? And it's almost like when you get on the phone with them, they feel like they know you. And there's nothing more powerful, especially in real estate, when you already have that subtle connection. And you'd be like, you know what, where do you live? Okay, well, let's just meet at the Panera Bread down the street. We'll show you a few listings that like based on our call, and let's see if this works out, right? And
yeah, they're sold on you. They already want to work with you.
Which 9 times out of 10, that's what we want as real estate agents, right?
For sure. Yep.
You're going to sell because they like you.
Yep. So, okay, now let's assume they still haven't taken action, all right? So what we do is dump them into what we call a long-term nurture sequence. And so what this does, it'll send out emails consistently, and it'll lengthen the time between the emails, but it will keep staying in front of them because maybe they loved all this. Again, they're just not ready at the moment, but they love you, but they're not ready to talk yet. So we want to make sure we stay in front of them because when they are ready, say 3 or 4 months down the road, and they're like, okay, they got their down payment saved up, they're ready to go. They want to, get their credit ran and see what they get approved for to get the home of their dreams. So these guys, when they're ready, when they're back in that moment again, they've been getting emails from you every week, cool stuff, stories, testimonials, maybe even we can throw in email
events,
yep,
random things,
and ask for referrals through automation, like a nice way. So maybe they love you at this point, but they're not ready, but their best friend is ready. So you can have an email that pushes them to do that. Say, hey, go check this guy out. Send this over. Here's my info. If you have anybody that's in the market right now, we'd love to have a chat with them, and then we can have a chat when you're ready as well. So
something really like prominent that we have found with our clients is, again, you're not a marketer, you're a real estate agent or you're a loan officer, right? But when people come through a campaign like this, with this relevancy and every email, every touch is relevant based on their actions or non-actions, they correlate that professionality, like they correlate the professionalism in that sequence. Like if this dude or this girl knows what she's doing on like the marketing, like I can't imagine how good they are as a real estate agent. Very, very true. Like we have clients, for example, that have started from scratch. We have a guy down in Southern California that put together just a simple course. It was his first month as an agent, and he put together kind of just like home buying 101 course or whatever, and the guy's killing it. Like it's incredible.
Because it's instant authority. Yeah. It's like you have your stuff together, and it shows just on your marketing side where now, wow, I'm seeing this guy on Facebook. He's got presentations, he's got videos. You build all this out, and it's instantly just there. And as far as the lead knows, you've been doing this forever. And maybe you haven't been doing it forever, but this is instant authority. This makes you look like an expert, and you got your stuff together. It's somebody that they trust, and they want to do business with. So do you want to show them a couple of lead examples?
Yeah, so we'll show you a couple of lead examples. We actually have a couple other campaigns that we built for people. Again, funnels can be anything. It's just how we get people integrated. We have one that's done through more of a survey element, so there's less automation, and it kind of cuts more straight to the point, but it's done in a very unique, based on their answers in the quiz or based on their answers. It's just something to engage cold traffic really quickly. Here's an idea of what some of these leads are. We've been doing these forever. So this is kind of like an app form at the end of the funnel that a lot of people are getting. So these are quiz questions. These are questions that are inside of this this quiz that they're taking, or this survey.
Yeah, it's a survey.
Right?
Yep.
And so, it's done through a survey format, so it's kind of stealth, but at the same time, we're collecting a ton of data, right? And so what we wanted to highlight, so obviously zip code, home type that they're looking for, is the first purchase property, right? All these things that are really important to you, because you might have partners and you might have we circled this because the majority of real estate agents that we work with, the biggest hiccup is they're getting a ton of leads, but no one's qualified, or just no one's in that price point. So what we've done is we've kind of found the magic little, I guess you can say, targeting trick inside of Facebook to sift out a lot of the crappy credit, right?
So we have like our proven algorithm that we know literally only shows your ads to the perfect people majority of the time. Of course, there's going to be people that come through because we don't know. You can't target exactly 100% of the time.
And a lot of people associate credit with household income, and that's a big mistake, especially in real estate. A lot of people probably know that. Like household income, I mean, when it comes down to qualifying for a house, it's like this person right here that makes between $25,000 and $50,000. This is actually more important in the home buying process, right? If they can prove and they can show, can you show proof of income? Yes, that's all lenders are looking for, right? So again, this is an idea, it's an example of one style of funnel that we build out, and this is the kind of leads that are spitting out, and they're expecting a call, like they're anticipating you to contact them, and so it's just a matter of when we work with people, and or if you're building this out yourself, it just comes down to how postured, how qualified you want them, and that comes down to how much automation is happening behind the scenes on the back end.
Yep. So these are just from yesterday. I just pulled a couple up that came in right one after another yesterday afternoon. So the other thing, I don't know, do you want to kind of our gift, or what do you want to do here?
You might as well give it to them.
So we want to give you guys, just so you know, we're like our company name, Marketing Funnel Academy. Obviously, we sell, training and on internet marketing in general. So we have our main kind of flagship front-end product course that we sell. It's tons of videos and training step-by-step, from landing pages to ads to everything.
Swipe, copy, templates, everything.
So we sell that to all of our traffic on the front end, and we sell it for about $200 for annual agreement, or we just switched it over. Now it's lifetime. So we sell it for $200, and you can go to our website and pop it up. I'll just show you. Like this is the page we sell it on, but I'm gonna give you guys something pretty cool. So this is like our sales page for our stuff. So we have all of this. We sell, this thing load up. So we sell this stuff to, this is our main page for $194 for lifetime access to all the training stuff and everything. So if you came here, you can check it out. You can see that, this is what we sell. But for, our relationship with Agent Mastermind, and you guys taking your time up to join us and let us speak about, what we do, we want to give this to you guys for free, for life. So you guys can go through it on your leisure and, get in there and get access and just go through it. No charge, no credit card, none of that stuff, just giving you access to the stuff that we typically sell. So hopefully if any of you guys are on here that bought it, hopefully you're not offended, but I wouldn't make anybody mad. So anyways, if you go to marketingfunnelacademy.com/agent mastermind, there'll be just a simple form. I'm going to give it probably a full day. Once everybody fills that out, I will shoot over your unique logins and access, and you can get in there. on your own time and check it out. You know, we have support in there. Actually, even though it's free, I'm still going to let you use our support portal. If you have any questions, you know, about anything, or if you start implementing something, let us know. We'll get in there and give you a hand and go from there. So go there, fill out the short little form, and then I'll kick off. Give me either end of the day today or tomorrow once everybody stops filling it out. And I appreciate if you guys just used it on your own. Don't like share it with people that weren't necessarily on this webinar, because you know.
It's what we rely on that to pay for our ads.
Yeah, this is like our front end stuff that pays for our ad spend, obviously. So
that is awesome, you guys. What a great gift. I mean, honestly, sorry I've been quiet the whole time because you have a lot of information to share. But you guys, if you're on this call, you're so lucky, because once this goes to replay, we're not going to be able to give this to anybody that wasn't on this call. That's why I came on Facebook and said, hey, get on this call today. So I'm super excited that you guys did, because you're taking advantage of something that you would never be able to do for free. I mean, never, ever, ever. I've never seen anything like it. So I'm really excited. And just so you all know, that Dallin and Steve built our first funnel, and it was amazing. I wanted to jump on, but I think I was on mute. I wanted to just explain a little bit about how we used it. We did a lot of it organically, just like they said. Took that URL link, posted it in groups, posted it, send it out to an email to people that we know, send it out to our email list that we've already had and compiled over the years, to bring in 70 people within a 6-week period of time that bought our program. So it works. I know for a fact, I mean, this stuff is high tech, and I know that to a lot of you it's way over your head. It's still, after 2 years of going through this, it's still over my head how they do this. I know when I talk to Dallin, I just nod my head and say, yes, I understand, but I don't. So even though it's complicated, that's why you have experts like them to, you know, go to if you want someone to do it for you. If you want to do it on your own, there's, you know, tons of things you can do, right? Like the ClickFunnels, you can get a ClickFunnels account, correct, Steve, and try it on your own. Or do you guys have a program that kind of walks through?
Yeah, we are in the
training.
In the course that you guys get for free today, we show you all the different softwares that you can get. There's some that's super cheap. There's free ones. Tons of different. Everybody's a little different what they have set up. So we give a lot of different scenarios and different options for people. And again, if you have any questions, like, hey, I see there's 2 options in here. What do you think would be best for me to go get, so I can keep building this stuff out on my own? Just reach out to our support, and we'll ask a couple questions and give you our feedback, so you guys can keep moving along on your progression, building your own stuff out for yourself. So
yeah, and then obviously for the people who are just like, these guys are just total nerds, I don't want to even touch this stuff, just book a call with us and we'll try to set something up, and if it works out, it works out. If not, you know, keep buying Zillow leads for $1,000 a piece. So I'm just kidding.
You know, everyone's probably wondering, what if they don't have like a webinar? You know, what if they don't have like something that they've created or have enough content to put together a webinar? Where can they get ideas from? What can you direct them to say, like, okay, this would be a good idea for a realtor. This would be a good idea for a loan officer to put a webinar together on?
So there's a couple things just right now that we can give tips on. Anything that's educational, anything that's training that essentially solves a problem. So a lot of people that you're working with, whatever your niche is or whatever you like to do, if it's something that you usually have to take a lot of time explaining to someone, they make for really good webinars, right? And so, I mean, there's tons of stuff. We've had people in the past who have had really good partnerships with their loan officers, and they've put something together. So their unique angle was the loan officer will, I mean, this is for listing agents, right? And the loan officer would handle all of the open houses, and then they were also partnered with a contractor. And so they put this really cool training together for people. It was actually in California that this happened, so a really fast market. So they had this really cool angle. It was unique. It made them different. So anyone who worked with them and their partnership, they also got building and reconstruction at cost, right? So things like that. There's tons and tons of things. Honestly, if you want to just jump on a call with us and we can help you brainstorm based on what you're good at, that's all we do.
What we do is we literally tell you what we need and we show you exactly how to do it. So it's super clear. It's not some mystery thing. You will have, you know what you need to go do, and we're here to help you along the way.
So if someone wanted to work for us or with us, for example, we split our project into phases. So phase 1, Right, they basically, so let's assume like they're signed up, they're ready to go, they work with us. Phase one, we coach and consult for as long as we need to on building that webinar. So we'll tell you, persuasive elements that need to be in there. We'll show you organization, give you some templates to stick to.
We get the slide deck
keep it very simple.
Yeah. And then we record it. We get to the point, we'll watch it, give feedback, get to the point where we're ready to show that webinar to real people. Then we go off and build the entire funnel out. And then once it's built, we test it together. We'll walk through it, make sure you understand it completely how it works. If you want to go change an email, you're empowered to do that. You own it all, it's your stuff. And then the next phase is get people onto it. So get the traffic to it, whether that's referring out to your friends and family or the main one is running ads. So we do all of that too.
Well, we don't run anyone's ads, but we teach you exactly how to set them up. And we're there, we basically kick off tons of support. And so if you need us to jump into your ad account and help you create the ads themselves, I mean, we do it.
But we actually do run ads.
Oh, yeah.
You guys run our ads.
Yeah, it just depends on the fit. Like some of our clients are super educated. They know how to run the ads. They just don't have the back end or the front end funnel to get quality leads in at a cheap cost. So we help them do that if they want to do it on their own. If they don't want to touch anything, they just want to get awesome phone calls and close deals down,
we'll do it all.
Then we handle all of that, and we can explain all the like how it all works. Everybody's a little different, so the phone call's best. So
yeah. What other questions are you seeing?
Yeah, let me see. I know you guys can't see the questions. I'm sorry for that. So someone asked a simple question like, how does this compare to ClickFunnels? Well, you use ClickFunnels, correct? I mean, I know that.
That's just one of the page builders. I mean, we can show you a couple just of our pages if you wanted to. But think of it like, so ClickFunnels is literally just for building out the pages that people see. So ClickFunnels kind of promotes, I mean, we know Russell, we know a lot of these guys that run some of this stuff. Think of ClickFunnels as like website building meets funnel strategy, like online marketing strategy into one software. So the way they promote it is on kind of like a linear experience, like page after page. If they take an action on this page, they get an upsell. If they take an action on this page, downsell. What we do is we use that for the building, like what the linear sequence, but all of that flows into the behind the scene. So we love ClickFunnels.
Yeah, we use like ClickFunnels. So in the free stuff that we're giving you today, if you go in there and take advantage of that, then ClickFunnels is an option. So we show you guys how to build it out. We give you free page templates, all that stuff. So ClickFunnels is just a tool for a page builder. They have some automation in the back end, but it's not quite there yet as far as getting this techie. Yes, you can kick off emails, which is awesome. But when you start getting into like deep funnels like this, we love ClickFunnels because of the ease of building with a drag and drop builder for the pages. But then we also like to have the back end technology there. So they all talk together. It all works in sync.
ClickFunnels integrates really well.
It integrates with everything.
Responders and calendars. Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah. What else, Inga?
So you can essentially build everybody wants to know, of course, what's the price on having a done for you funnel? I know that for everything you guys talked about, there's a lot of stuff going on here. There's a lot of software and there's a lot of consulting and
maybe we should just start a poll. How much does someone think that this is worth? Let's ask.
What do you guys think it should cost? How much do you think it should cost?
How much do you think it would cost you? Let me know what you're starting to see.
Yeah, whoever's on this right now, just put a number down and say $100. All right, awesome. $5.99. Okay, cool. Sure. Anybody else want to guess? $2.99 a month. Okay. All right. Anybody else want to take a guess? Anybody else still on here? No? Nobody? All right. $3.99 including software. Okay.
So
$97 a month. Okay. So
the best way to answer it is
$1,500. Okay.
There you go. The best way to answer it is it depends. It depends on what style of leads you want. It depends on if you're going to be doing a very integrated back-end sequence, right? We have plans from if we're running traffic for you and we're sending you the leads, right? We have something where people can just pay us monthly and we can just guarantee X amount of leads and we're shooting them to you and they're extremely like the ones that we showed you filled out. I mean, we have plans anywhere from
the other thing to think about is that if the system brought you 4 to 5 new deals, depending on how much traffic you run. Obviously, if you run small amount of traffic, you're going to get less deals. If you run big traffic, you're going to get more deals. So if you run an average amount of traffic and you get, maybe you pull 3 to 5 new deals where you get paid your commission on the deal because of this funnel, then you can do the math and figure out what you would pay for it. So if you're, I don't want to throw too many numbers out because everybody's different scenario. You can think if this got you 3 to 5 deals with super quality leads through automation where you literally just got them in front of you because of this stuff, like then I think you can do the math of what this would be worth to you. So, yeah.
Well, the way I look at it, Steve and Dallin, is this. If you could build your own equipment to say, if you're a farmer and you're harvesting your own crops and you build your own equipment to do it, and then you continuously get, leads or plants from it every single season, that you're watering and fertilizing, what's it worth to you? Really, honestly, what's it worth having a machine built for you that will guarantee, not guarantee, I shouldn't say, because obviously you still have to talk to the people at the end, but that will bring you in hot, ready to go people, as opposed to calling, 100 leads that you bought on Zillow that may be ready to buy in 3 years. It's just, what's the cost to you? Your time, with the ROI is,
We can't, I don't want to throw numbers out or nothing because everybody's so different and then somebody might.
And every market's different. Yeah.
I totally suggest you guys get in there, use the free stuff.
Try to do it
Go
yourself,
at it.
see if you can do it, and then if you want to book a time with us.
Let's have a chat and we'll go from there. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, Inga, like you're right on. Like I love the analogy even with like, a vehicle, right? So if you want to lease the vehicle, you can lease some of that stuff through us, right? If you want to own the Ferrari outright, we'll build it, one-time fee, wipe our hands, and you own the vehicle, right? Like the only thing you have to do is fill it up with gas, right? And your gas station,
and you get to enjoy it, right?
The gas station is Facebook, right? So, yep.
Right. And that's how I always look at it too. When we want to do something, this is the way to do it nowadays. Like this is the marketing of today and of the future. There's nothing better, and not a lot of people are doing it yet. A lot of people are attempting to do it, and a lot of people will say that they're experts in it. But I know from personal experience that these guys are experts in it, and they do a great job. So whatever they tell you, take it, for what it is. It works. We've seen it work. It's worked for our organization, and we'll continue to keep building funnels because of it.
We do it actively in our own business. We get majority of our business from cold paid traffic on Facebook going through a webinar, and they become our clients that way. So we literally practice what we preach. We do this day in and day out. Inga their funnel is we built for them. They're generating revenue from that funnel. So stuff works. It just needs to be built out properly.
Mm-hmm. And the best part about it is it gets smarter. The longer you run the sequence, the smarter it gets because Facebook, obviously, they'll kick in if you're running your ads through Facebook or whatever social platform. Your ads become smarter and smarter, and the retargeting, that's when, after a few weeks, you'll be able to retarget people differently. So data's king when it comes to
and you'll be
style.
Continually building your book of business, whether it's leads you haven't talked to yet that continually bubble up to keep you busy, or your book of business of leads that have bubbled up, you just haven't closed a deal with them yet. So you'll continually having deals coming through as long as you keep your pipe full. You'll literally have never-ending flow as long as you keep the thing running and full of people. So it's pretty cool.
Very cool.
I suggest, everyone go and see what one looks like. Like opt into Steve and Dallin's funnel and the marketing funnel page. Go to the DFY done for you funnel and go into run through it.
We'll just some proof in the pudding here. Just if you just go to our website, give it like a day, and then go to your Facebook feed, and we'll live in your Facebook feed, just so you know.
You'll see my face everywhere.
Because again, that's Inga. That link is actually just to the website, So it's not even to our webinar, but you'll start seeing ads for our webinar. If you really wanted to see the power of this and how they all communicate.
Yeah, you'll see. Yeah, it's cool stuff. It really does work when it's implemented properly, for sure.
Right. So. Thank you guys so much. I mean, awesome information always. I'm always learning new stuff, and I'm super excited to have our audience get to see what it really looks like and have all this awesome free stuff that you guys just offered them today. So thank you guys super excited that you guys are on and excited to have you, and hopefully you guys will come back soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. If you're not part of our Facebook group, please go to facebook.com/Agent Mastermind. Next week, same time, same channel, same place, we will be back with another awesome guest. So we will, oh wait, is next week 4th of July? Sorry guys, we will not be here next week. I apologize. The week after, on the 11th, we will be back for another awesome guest. So thank you, and have an awesome Tuesday and a very safe, happy holiday, and safe 4th of July. Talk to you soon. Bye.